The movie begins with a fire accident scene with firefighters at the scene trying to rescue people. A colleague calls out Kim Ja-hong's name, who hangs on a rope after jumping from a top building, and he tells him to grab his hand as the rope is on fire and will be cut soon. The rope cuts and Kim Ja-hong falls to the ground with the girl in his hand. He soon wakes up and looks at his surroundings, and goes to meet the girl's family and ask for her name, but there is no response from them, and he hears people calling out his name instead. He then checks his surroundings and sees security specialist Guardian Hee Womack and assistant Guardian Deok Chun standing. He tells them to beware of their surroundings, but they come towards him and introduce themselves and inform him of his passing, and tell him they are 3 guardians of the afterlife who will defend him through 7 trials over 49 days. Kim Ja-hong immediately sees his body on the floor with his colleagues trying to resurrect him and cries. He begins to panic as he realizes what is going on, but Guardian Deok Chun tells him the 3rd guardian must be at the funeral home eating since only the 2 of them are present. Kim Ja-hong tells them he can't die yet and begs them to let him see his mother for the last time as he gets dragged into a whirlwind, leaving the scene, and they wave at him. At the funeral home, Guardian Gangrim eats in silence. After eating, he sees Kim Ja-hong's mother at Kim Ja-hong's funeral table, sitting down and looking at his picture. As he prepares to leave, he stops after seeing Kim Ja-hong's brother going over to the mother. He tells the mother to let them leave, hearing the announcer telling them they need to come for his body. On the other hand, Kim Ja-hong and his guardians soon reach the gate of afterlife. On their way, Guardian Hee Womack explains to him about the statue they meet, and soon they meet their leader and their boss Guardian Gang Rim the 3rd guardian, and other people also, going for their trail. Gang Rim tries to introduce himself and welcome him as a paragon, a person who dies an innocent death, but he declines and tells him not to call him that. Guardian Deok Chun then went ahead to insert his identity card inside the wall, and in the process, it shows he is an honorable paragon. Guardian Deok Chun then informs him that the chance of his reincarnation is high after his 49 days trial. After this, the door opens, and they enter. Immediately, they find themselves at the volcano of the damned, the murder hell where the first trial will take place. Guardian Hee Womack expresses his dissatisfaction about murder hell being their first trial and asks them why since he is a paragon. He then faces Kim Ja-hong and asks if he killed someone. Kim Ja-hong informs him he didn't kill anybody. Deok Chun then goes ahead to explain to Kim Ja-hong the 7 trials that will take place, which are betrayal, violence, filial piety, murder, indolence, deceit, and injustice. Guardian Gang Rim also tells them that King Yomura will be the one to decide the order in which the trial will take place from the lightest sin to the heaviest sin. Kim Ja-hong then wonders and says to himself that he didn't kill anyone, but Gang Rim informs him that the trial will also include indirect murders where if his past actions influenced a person's death, then it is enough for him to be charged. On their way, Guardian Hee Womack informs them about the other things that get him damned and informs him about Guardian Deok Chun's extraordinary abilities as she scans a list of Kim Ja-hong's charges so that she can defend him better. Then immediately, Kim Ja-hong finds himself in murder hell as he tries to help people up, but soon the god of murder angrily shouts at him for helping people. Gang Rim then tells him to calm down as his trials start, and they read his offense to him. The assistant finds him guilty and tells their master to send him to 5 years imprisonment because he is a paragon. But Guardian Gang Rim defends him and tells God he saved 8 injured people. And he didn't save his colleagues because of that. The god of murder finds him innocent and acquits him of his murder charge. Immediately they find themselves at the river of indolence. Inside the boat, Guardian Gang Rim informs him about the next trial and how well he lived his life. Deok Chun told them they were lucky and there won't be a trial after her scanning, and all he had to do is for Kim Ja-hong to narrate about how he has lived his life. Guardian Gang Rim then tells them to be alert and cautious of the prosecutors because it is a promotion for them if they can charge a paragon. Kim Ja-hong listens to all this and asks them why they are defending him. They inform him he can be reincarnated, which is good for him, but he tells them he is not interested, but they ask him to leave it to the afterlife to decide. Guardian Deok Chun then tells him about the promise they made to King Yomura, and they get to be reincarnated as well if they reincarnate 49 souls, which is only possible if they defend a paragon like him. Soon fishes begin to launch at them to attract them, but they try to get them off. They tell him not to look at them as they only feed on souls that look at him. Guardian Gang Rim then tells him that he should consider the trial a tourist stop, but he shouldn't talk back to the goddess of indolence. On getting there, Guardian Deok Chun represents him and explains the meaning of indolence as the life given to a noble human being wasting away with endless idling and negligence. She shows the goddess and the prosecutors about his life as she defends Kim Ja-hong. They see he didn't live an idle life, nor is he lazy. Impressed, the goddess informs the prosecutors to build a giant statue for him at her place and asks Kim Ja-hong about his reason for choosing to live the life he lived. Kim Ja-hong answers her and tells her it is because of money. Hearing this, the goddess gets angry at him for serving another god and tells him he will get punished. After which, the planks he stands on begin to move to where he will end in seeing the guardian Hee-won-mok, and guardian Gang-rim jumps into the river, and Gang-rim gives reasons and informs the goddess why it is so. After showing her the mirror of sins, she commends him and finds him not guilty, and acquits him of his charges. After that, they get taken to the Blade Forest to meet the god of deceit. Along the way in the forest, guardian Deok-chun informs him about his next trial and how the deceit judges will judge the lies he has told in his life. She tells him the branches are razor sharp, hence the name of the forest, and he must touch anything out of curiosity. If he does, Gang-rim then pushes him at the tree and tells him the blades will slice him open and inflict him with pain. Guardian Gang-rim expresses his anger at him for not listening to him, the goddess of indolence, and tells him to follow his instructions, otherwise, there will be consequences. After this, guardian Deok-chun begs Hee-won-mok to free him from the branch's blades as he experiences pain. She tells Kim Ja-hong that his wound will heal shortly since wounds heal faster in the afterlife. Guardian Hee-won-mok also informs him they are only trying to help him, and they all benefit from each, and he gets a dream visit to his mother's dream. Surprised, he asks him if he is telling the truth, and guardian Deok-chun tells him before reincarnation, he gets to say farewell one last to anybody he wishes. On hearing this, he stands up and grabs guardian Hee-won-mok and shouts his mother's name. Soon they reach where they will board a boat as a means of transportation to leave where they are. He gets on board, and everyone looks at him. On their way, they soon encounter hell ghouls who attack them and also a change in time speeds. They manage to escape from the hell ghouls, and they inform him about a family who might have died with a grudge which ends up becoming a vengeful spirit, hence the hell ghouls. Kim Ja-hong gets worried about his mother, and Hee-work informs Deok-chun to tie a blindfold on him as the hell ghouls are still around them. Gang-rim tells guardian Deok-chun that he will take a detour and she should stall the trial if there is any problem until he gets a signal since they are both connected. Back in the world of the living guardian, Gang-rim tries to find the source of the problem. He goes to Kim Ja-hong's office and sees his family came for his belongings, after which he goes to Kim Ja-hong's house and tries to get a flashback of the things that happened in the process. He makes himself visible to Kim Ja-hong's mother. As a mute, she asks his identity. Gang-rim introduces himself, and tells her he came to pay his last respects. The mother cries and hugs him, making the incense at the picture table getting on. He asks for alone time to pay his respects and challenges the spirit at the table. He brings out his sword and chases after him as the spirit goes out through the window. In the afterlife, Kim Ja-hong removes his face blindfold and tries to ask Deok-chun if his mother is okay. Guardian Hee-won-mok sees this and tells him to stop being troublesome as Deok-chun is scanning his trials and to put his blindfold back on. As a result of him taking his blindfold off, the hell ghouls find them, and Hyun-mak orders him to wake up guardian Deok-chun immediately. In the process, the Forest King comes and challenges the monsters. He asks why they are disturbing his forest. Deok-chun then tells him Gang-rim has gone to the living world to eliminate the vengeful spirit. On hearing this, Kim Ja-hong goes to where the god, King Yomura, is and challenges him. Guardian Hee-won-mok immediately tries to get him away from the king, and guardian Deok-chun begs on his behalf, and he tells them if they fail to eliminate the spirit, he will have to go by himself. Back in the land of the living guardian, Gang-rim tries to get information from Kim Ja-hong's brother's working place and questions a colleague in his living form, asking him where he buried him. In the afterlife, they arrive at the god of deceit's trial. The god, in the form of a small girl, asks him why he wrote 98 fake letters to people, deceiving them. Unable to answer the question asked by the god, she orders his tongue to be cut, but the guardians call out to Gang-rim, and he links himself with guardian Deok-chun immediately. She defends him by saying precisely what Gang-rim is saying. With enough reasons as to why he wrote the letters and the gods are convinced, she finds him innocent and acquits him of his charges. On their way to the next trial, guardian Deok-chun and Hee-won-mok ask him why he wants to see his mother, and he tells them he has to give her a gift he got her and the letter he wrote. Guardian Gang-rim then communicates with them and tells them his mother is safe and his brother too. He thanks them happily. Kim Ja-hong then leaves them, and seeing this, guardian Gang-rim informs the other guardians about Kim Ja-hong's brother's death and how he must solve the matter so that there won't be more problems in Kim Ja-hong's trials. In the land of the living guardian, Gang-rim soon finds out about the younger brother. In the afterlife, the next trial is the injustice trial for the unjust. Guardian Deok-wook then informs that since he is a paragon, the trial won't be needed, but immediately, they experience troubles as the ice where they are walking begins to fall, and they manage to escape from the place. Unfortunately, at the land of the living, guardian Gang Rim finds out that Su Hong has been accidentally killed while on guard duty by his partner Dong Yan, and his death was covered up by their superior, Lieutenant Park Kim, and Su Hong were still alive when they buried him so that others did not find out. Then they informed his mother about his deserting the army and told the mother they were looking for him. In the process, guardian Gang Rim also gets flashes of his memories, and both happen to seem to be what he has experienced too. While in the afterlife, on the ride to the God of Injustice, they see people who refuse to help people due to their selfish gain, and Kim Ja Hong tries to share some of his family memories with them. During the conversation, they tell him they can remember their memories except guardian Gang Rim. During the process, guardian Hee Won-mok gets angry and informs Kim Ja Hong of his brother's death and his vengeful spirit. Hearing this, he breaks down in tears, and they experience trouble in their transportation trying to save each other. While at the land of the living, guardian Gang Rim contemplates giving Kim Su Hong a burial and informing his mother, but guardian Hee Won-mok challenges him and tells him he must be burnt and asks if Gang Rim wants to break the rules. Guardian Gang Rim then orders him not to question his order and tells him to return, and he will find the vengeful spirit. In the afterlife, the three pass through the heavenly passage to stand trial in the hell of betrayal. Guardian Deok Chun then informs him that those who sinned are locked in a glass, and it breaks, and that the goddess of betrayal is beautiful and she only forgives beautiful betrayal, which means a righteous betrayal, so a righteous man like him gets a free pass. In the land of the living, guardian Gang Rim follows Dong Yan as he goes to clubs and soon sees Su Song's vengeful spirit and challenges him. Guardian Gang Rim then learns that Su Hong's grudge was not against Ja Yong, but Dong Yan and Lieutenant Park Kim. After this, Dong Yan tips off Su Hong's mother on the location of his son's body and attempts suicide, but guardian Gang Rim saves him on Su Hong's request after the latter agrees to cooperate, as he also helps him to pass his message across to Dong Yan. Soon after, back in the afterlife, guardian Gang Rim joins them and informs them about Kim Ja Hong not going home for 15 years. Kim Ja Hong then begs him not to eliminate his brother's spirit and save him instead. On the way to the Hell of Violence, they have to make it across in between stones. On getting there, in Hell of Violence, Ja Hong is tried for beating Su Hong when they were younger, while Su Hong later suffers from malnutrition. As Ja Hong is not forgiven, he is convicted and is about to be punished when they seek guardian Gang Rim's help, and he instructs guardian Deok Chun to request for a combined trial at the next court, the Hell of Filial Impiety, a desert. The request is granted. Kim Ja Hong then reveals that, due to poverty, he intended to kill their mother but was discovered by Su Hong. In a fit, he beat up Su Hong. He also tells them he had planned to kill them all, his ill mother first and him and his brother later, taking pills since they are wretched, but he flees out of guilt, opting not to be a burden and dedicating his life to supporting them. Guardian Gang Rim and Su Hong soon arrive at the army base in the living world only to witness his mother's shabby treatment at the hands of Lieutenant Park. Seeing this, he gets enraged and transforms back into a vengeful spirit, and lashes out at the base by conjuring up a massive tornado, but only stops when he realizes his actions are affecting Ja Hong in the afterlife. Back at the Hell of Filial Impiety, Kim Ja Hong is immediately judged by King Yomra as guilty. He learns that on the night of his attempted murder-suicide, his mother was awake and had decided to allow it, knowing that she was a burden on her family. He cries upon hearing this, but unknowingly to them, Su Hong, with the help of Gang Rim and Hee Won-mok, enters his mother's dream and learns that she has already forgiven Ja Yong for that night and informs her about himself and his brother. Since sins that have been forgiven in the living world are not allowed to be judged in the afterlife, Kim Ja Hong is then allowed to reincarnate immediately after being cleared of charges. He smiles at guardian Deok Chun, and he disappears. Immediately at the land of the living, guardian Gang Rim orders guardian Hee Won-mok to take Su Hong to the afterlife, and he tells him he is a vengeful spirit, but Gang Rim shows him his tag and shows that he has become an honorable paragon. But in the process, Gang Rim realizes that King Yomra has been meddling with his investigation of Su Hong. He then decides to confront King Yomra directly and chooses Su Young as the group's final soul before their reincarnation, and the movie ends. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel.